now, let's start with the subject of the economy. We've been in a very severe recession. There are signs that the recession has hit bottom and that we've bottomed out. The economy is on an upswing at this point. The signals are encouraging. The 4-week average of new claims for unemployment aid fell this last week for the 16th straight week to the lowest point since early September. Also, the Commerce Department reports that U.S. factory orders for durable big-ticket items rose in November. Those are encouraging signs. Still, unemployment is high at 10% nationwide. That means 15 million Americans are out of work who want to be working. Normal unemployment is about 5.5%, but we're at a level of 10%. 7 million jobs need to be created to reach an unemployment level of 5.5%, which is historically sort of the normal level. But this decade, the past decade from 1900 to 1999 to 2009, in that whole decade, only 464,000 jobs were created. In the decade before that, from 1989 to 1999, this economy created 21.7 million new jobs. And the most recent decade created only $464,000. So from the standpoint of the recession and the economy at large, we haven't done much. We're not in the prospects are difficult because the level of unemployment is going to be very difficult to reduce in any significant way. This past year, the past fiscal year, the deficit for the fiscal year that ended in September of 2009, the national deficit was $1.4 trillion. That's way above anything before, and it's totally unprecedented. The Senate last week voted to raise the national debt ceiling so that the government would have the funds to continue until mid-February. For that brief period of a couple of months or so, Congress raised the national debt ceiling by, what was it, $1.4 trillion. That's a lot of money, $1.4 trillion, but that's only enough to run until we can actually pass a real budget in February, if they get to it. Will we be able to dig out from under a national debt like that, and what are the consequences of that? Turning to foreign trade, the trade deficit. The dollar is weakened, and as a result of a weak dollar, it's more costly for us to be importing goods, so we're importing less and exporting more because foreign countries can buy more with cheaper dollars in comparison to their own currencies. So the trade deficit has been reduced, but it still continues at a high level. We still remain dependent on foreign oil. The weak dollar raises the cost of oil to us. A lot of other commodities which we have to import are more costly for us. And as the cost of these necessary imported materials, as those costs rise, we're confronted with the possibility of inflation. Now, it's also been necessary, because of the recession, to get us out of the recession, to infuse more money into the economy to stimulate. This is a whole program of stimulating the economy that's been started in the last days of the Bush administration. And as a result of that, the Fed has kept interest rates very low. And so there's a lot of, in an effort to stimulate more lending by the banks, to get businesses hiring and producing more, hiring more help and all of that, But the cheap dollar and low interest rates tends to stimulate or to cause inflation.